This is the dark side of RedNote.
With TikTok facing a potential ban in the US, millions of people are rushing to download RedNote. At first glance, it looks like the perfect TikTok alternative. It's full of aesthetic travel posts, trendy fashion, and lifestyle content. But here's the thing, RedNote isn't just another fun app. Underneath all those glossy posts, there's something a lot darker going on. Today, we're breaking down 3 major dark sides of RedNote, an app that might not be as free or harmless as it seems. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is RedNote? Well, RedNote or 小红书 literally translates to Little Red Book in English. And yes, that name is inspired by Mao's Little Red Book of Communist ideology. The app launched back in 2013 as a curated shopping and travel platform, kind of like Pinterest or Instagram. Over time, it's become a hub for lifestyle content, and its algorithm shows you posts based on what you like, not what you follow. Sounds cool, right? Well, here's where it gets interesting. RedNote has been blowing up in the US recently, especially with all the talk about banning TikTok. But its name isn't just a coincidence. RedNote's content moderation and data policies reflect the same ideas of control and conformity that Mao's Little Red Book stood for. It might seem harmless, but this app is far from innocent. Let's talk about privacy because this is where things get creepy. RedNote collects a lot of your data. We're talking personal details, your location, your browsing habits, and even information about your device. And here's the kicker. The app's privacy policy says that this data can be shared with relevant government authorities. In China, that basically means the government has access to everything. So what can they do with that data? Let me give you an example. In the past, the Chinese government used advanced facial recognition systems and tracked down Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang and detained them. That's the level of power we're talking about. And if you thought TikTok's data collection was scary, RedNote takes it to another whole new level. Your privacy isn't just ignored, it's actively at risk. Alright, moving on to censorship. Because this isn't just about data, RedNote also controls what you see. The app systematically censors anything that could be considered sensitive. This includes criticism of the Chinese government, human rights advocacy, or even discussions about democracy. But it doesn't stop there. LGBTQ+ content is also a huge target. Posts about pride, rainbow flags, or same-sex relationships often gets flagged or removed. Sounds familiar? That's because it mirrors broader restrictions in China, where LGBTQ+ discussions are frequently labeled as inappropriate. For marginalized communities, this kind of censorship erases representation and silences voices that needs to be heard. And here's the thing. It's not just about what the app removes, it's about how it makes users feel. Over time, people learn to self-censor. They avoid posting anything that might get flagged because they don't want their accounts taken down. And for younger users, this teaches them to stay quiet and avoid expressing their true selves. Now let's talk about how RedNote is shaping culture, especially for younger users. On most social media platforms, people use their accounts to express themselves. But on RedNote, the rules are different. Influencers and regular users alike avoid anything political or controversial to protect their accounts. And this creates a culture where activism and dissent are basically non-existent. Here's an interesting example. The RedNote community is often described as super harmonious. Everyone seems to care about the same things, like skincare routines, cute travel spots, or trendy outfits. While that might sound nice, it also reinforces conformity. People are discouraged from stepping outside that narrow box of acceptable topics. Sure, it feels unified, but it's also really single-minded. For many, RedNote feels like a safe space. But let's be real. It's a controlled space. Freedom of expression is quietly stifled. And anything that doesn't fit the narrative just doesn't exist. And this goes beyond individuals. The bigger issue is that RedNote's model of censorship and surveillance threatens democratic values on a global scale. By normalizing restrictions on free speech, it challenges the open exchange of ideas that societies rely on. And that's a problem for everyone. So what do you think about RedNote? Is it just another app, or is it something more dangerous? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who should know the truth.